Hi, everyone. David and I were talking earlier about some common mistakes that people make when they're carrying marijuana in their car. So we figured we would go over those with you in our discussion today. This is Christina Williams with Just Criminal Law.
And I'm David Mann, legal storytelling specialist. So Christina, we've talked in the past about DUI stops, so, alcohol related stops largely. And so this is similar but not exactly the same, and people can make dumb mistakes and end up in legal problems because of these mistakes. So if we just think about it from the point of view of somebody who may be interested in smoking pot or may, possess pot somewhere in their life, they want to get in the car and drive. So what's the first couple things they should make sure to do or not do to avoid problems?
Right. If you're going to use marijuana in Wyoming, by all means, don't take it with you in the car. So, first and foremost, if you're getting in the car, leave your marijuana behind.
Okay.
Even if you think you're being very prudent and it's in an airtight bag, keep in mind some law enforcement officers carry a canine with them, and even if you can't smell it and the officer can't smell it, you better believe the canine can.
Oh, really? Okay, so the first thing is, because keeping in mind, it is still illegal in Wyoming. So if you're, wanting to have this and you think, oh, I'll just put it in an airtight container and no one will know, that's actually not going to work, right?
Correct. You could be in just as much trouble as if you recently smoked it and it's in your hair, in your clothes, because that canine can pick up on that odor.
Okay, so that's another one then. So you shouldn't possess it. You shouldn't have it in the car or on your person. And you shouldn't have maybe just smoked a whole bunch of pot before getting in the car, right?
Right. I mean, first of all, it's going to impair your ability to drive if you smoke too much. But also, even though you are sure nobody can smell it, you can't smell it, keep in mind, it is a very distinct odor, and the body, if you're around it, you're going to become desensitized to it. And a law enforcement officer may very well be able to smell it.
That's really, we've all had that experience of you get used to smells in the environment and you don't even, then your friends come over and go, what's that smell? Like any kind of smell. Or with tobacco smoke even, people smoke cigarettes and they don't know how much it's in their hair and on their clothes. So you're saying make sure that you don't smoke it for a number of reasons, one of which is the police officer possibly smelling it on you. So you don't have it on you, you don't smoke it, and now you're driving the car. But maybe you made a mistake on one of these other things. What should you make sure happens now that you're driving the car?
Well, anytime you get in your car, it's just a good practice. Make sure you routinely check that all of your lights are operating correctly, whether it's your headlamp, your brake lights, your license plate light. So routinely do a walk around and check that everything's operating correctly with your vehicle. And then obviously don't speed. Pay attention to the speed limit. Make sure you use your turn signal. Don't commit silly traffic violations, that are going to cause law enforcement to pull you over, because then, there's everything that could potentially happen from there. So make sure you don't commit a traffic offense.
Okay, right. And you've said in the past and sometimes that police officers look for certain things, certain types of cars or whatever, that they may pull over more than others. So what kind of car are they looking for?
Well, maybe whatever you might envision a hippie driving, I guess. But more importantly, what they're looking for is an out-of-state plate. Specifically, they're looking for plates from California, Colorado, Washington, Oregon, anywhere where marijuana is recreationally used and where it's, where you would commonly think someone coming through the state who's from those areas would possess marijuana. So any out-of-state plate, but be more careful if you're from one of those other states that's really liberal about their marijuana use.
Okay, great. So that's 3 things. And now, what about, so if you have the misfortune of actually being pulled over by the police officer, now it's a lot like a DUI stop. Maybe walk through what's specific to a marijuana stop.
An officer, especially if you have a passenger in the vehicle, they're going to want to separate the two of you. So they're going to ask the driver to come back to their car while they run your license, registration, proof of insurance, and perhaps write you a speeding citation. When they bring you back, when they bring the driver back, don't be chit-chatty. Don't think, oh, you're just gonna, charm the officer into liking you and not, only giving you a speeding ticket. The officer's gonna try to engage you in conversation, and he's looking for very specific things. So, rather than go over everything he's looking for, just remember, don't engage in small talk with the officer. Be polite, but be very brief in your answers, and don't string along the conversation.
Okay, because any information that you think is just kind of no big deal, I'm just talking, can and will be used against you, possibly in a court of law. So that's that. And what if they insist or ask to search your car?
Well, first of all, once the officer is done writing you the citation, he'll return your license, insurance, and he'll give you your ticket. Now, when he does this, it's very important at that moment to say, am I free to leave? And he'll either say yes or no. Now, he will have to have a pretty good hunch something illegal is going on to say no. So if he says yes, by all means, skedaddle. You're done, get in the car and drive away. Again, don't engage in any more small talk and be on your way.
Okay, and don't let him search your car.
Yes, but if you do somehow get caught up in a conversation with him, he's going to ask you, is there anything illegal in your car? And at that point in time, say, I would like to exercise my right to remain silent. Very, very important. Tell him I'm exercising my rights and I would like a lawyer. Do not consent under any circumstances to him searching your vehicle, because it's going to result in you getting a ticket.
Okay, so at that point, they're going to need possibly your services. And how would they get those?
We will include a link in the description. They can call, text, or chat with a member of my team anytime, day or night. Here at Just Criminal Law, we know you only get one shot at justice, so make yours count.